All right. And
In the midst of the pandemic, there is an epidemic happening within the African American community. And it's the unusually high mortality rates for Black expectant mothers. Every year, 50,000 women in the US suffer major complications from childbirth. Almost 700 of them die, making this country the most dangerous place to give birth to in the developed world. I'm the Blackologist, and welcome to the show where I provide you with melanated solutions for your life by any means practical. For those of you joining for the first time, be sure to subscribe to receive notifications of our upcoming shows. And for my Melanation viewers, you already know, please take a free earthly moment and press that like button so that me, YouTube, and the universe know that you are ready to get your whole life. Ah, babies. At some point, we were all somebody's baby. And at another point, we will have or have had the opportunity to conceive one ourselves. But for expectant mothers like Kira Johnson, a healthy 39-year-old mother, something else happened.
Judge Hatzett's beautiful daughter-in-law, Kira Johnson, pictured here, she died last April after the scheduled C-section delivery of her second child. Her husband, Charles, filed a medical malpractice lawsuit this week against Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, claiming that Kira's death was the result of improper and untimely treatment.
It was something about Kira that resonated with me, her zeal and zest for life and adventure. Kira represented me and so many other Black women. Why did this beautiful light have to dim so quickly? Kira was described as unstoppable. She spoke 5 languages, she traveled the world, and she even raced cars with her husband, Charles. Kira and Charles always wanted back-to-back boys. In 2014, they received their first son, Charles V, by C-section. And then, in 2016, they found out that they were expecting again. Kira went in for what seemed to be a routine scheduled C-section. After surgery, Charles noticed that there was blood in Kira's catheter. He immediately alerted the nurses and doctors, who ordered a CT scan. After hours and hours of waiting, Kira began to tremble uncontrollably and was increasingly in more pain, with still no medical attention or a CT scan. When the doctor finally came, he told Charles he would fix it and that she'd be out in 15 minutes. But after waiting over 10 hours, Kira didn't make it. She didn't come out and passed from hemorrhaging. Kira's case isn't unique, and that's the problem. What was even more unsettling was hearing that a Black college-educated mother that gave birth had a higher chance of pregnancy complication than a white woman who had never graduated from high school. The CDC says that Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die during childbirth or during the first year of their child's life than white women. I had a chance to speak with certified nurse midwife Sakina Ballard. Why is this happening?
That's a loaded question. Why is this happening? There's so many reasons, many implicit biases. that exists within the healthcare system from individuals. Other reasons are just because of the socioeconomic status, and therefore they give us different kind of care. And so we're not listened to, we're marginalized. And then of course, there's other reasons, lack of resources, lack of education. We don't have those same breastfeeding classes, classes that are centered around childbirth and education and learning our rights as individuals. Those things are just not available to us in those types of healthcare settings that we typically would consume healthcare from.
The solution was not only to become more savvy and educated as a health consumer, but to be proactive in having the right tools and resources available. For the melanated women that passed from childbirth-related deaths, many were affected by stress. Both voluntary and involuntary, both societal, racism, and personal stress of just being a melanated woman lives in a country that sometimes makes it hard to breathe. Now, once you know your personal health status, including being proactive about reducing your stress levels, next comes creating your care team. Your care team will be made up of all individuals that are in place for the expectant mother and pre- and postnatal care. You can find midwives, doulas, lactation consultants, and more at thesistermidwives.com, which is a national database of Black and brown doulas and midwives. This topic of Black maternity is extensive. You can learn more about it at theblacologist.com. I've included all of today's reports and resources for you, whether you or someone you know is expecting now or later. Share this episode with them and leave a comment on your experience or take on this topic. I'm the Blackologist, reminding you to be smart, be safe, and be well. Bye.